Hello everybody, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. Last Sunday in August, third attempt at the video. First attempt I was weird and babbly. Second attempt I didn't actually hit record. So, third time's the charm. I have my coffee, Ursula mug. It's a mug you've all seen before, I'm sure. Alright. So, not a whole lot in terms of Q&A this week, but I do have haul that I can show. And then we'll continue right along with good old whips and all that stuff. You may hear the dryer go off, because I have now done this long enough that the dryer may go off. So I apologize in advance for that. Q&A-wise, while it's not a question, suddenly, Joy, I actually do have plans to make my front reindeer, or lead reindeer, I believe would be the correct term, be Rudolph, because Rudolph. Let's see, the only other real question this week came from the always lovely Ivy Kruger, and oh, the fan's doing weird things. Asking why I hadn't done, she hadn't seen me do a Stitchy Box unboxing in a while. Liz actually discontinued the traditional Stitchy Box, and I was doing mine month to month, so which cost a little bit more, but was financially doable for me. She's instead switched over largely to the countdown boxes, which are really cool. But unfortunately they're a little out of my price range, and don't necessarily fit my needs as well as the original Stitchy Box did. That said, they are fabulous, and they're great ways to enhance your stash. I don't know why I went into Carol Channing's voice there, but they're terrific, and Liz is fabulous as always. So I definitely highly suggest them. But financially, they're just a little out of what I'm comfortable doing. Right, that was the Q&A. So, this week's haul, I did get my nest egg from the lovely Trisha. So, we're getting towards the end, actually, on Gentle Arts. So, there were two that were shipped out of sequence. They are Linen and Island Blue. We'll probably hear that one more time. One short, one really long one, apparently. There may be a third. I don't know, I normally get it before that. Okay, so the rest of the nest egg is... We've got Summer Showers, Tarnished Gold, Spring Grass, and Tea Rose. These are all really lovely, like, pastel-y colors in this grouping. And then Sugar Plum, Sweet Petunia, Terracotta, and Tiger Lily. All right. And then my Krynex, I got Colonial Red and Citron. And then Cocoa Brown, and I don't remember what this one is, but it's 002L. So, some very nice, very pretty colors. And then, I had to go to Stitch Niche to get some Black Whisper, which I'm not going to show you the Black Whisper, but you'll see what I used it for shortly. And I got two charts. I got this is from the Stitching Parlor. It's called Off With Their Head Sewing Box. I won't ever do the box because I just don't. But I will do the sampler that's supposed to go on the lid. It's Alice in Wonderland. Because I really like that. And it uses pretty much all Gentle Arts, which, as we all know, makes Garrett a very happy boy. And then I also got, because I saw this on the wall and thought it was really pretty, and kind of like quilts, it's much more vibrant in person than the photograph shows. It's called Village Square Sampler, Mary Allen, 1818. That's what it looks like. Like I said, the colors are much more intense in person, which is part of what drew me to it, and it has purple, which there are so few of those antique samplers that have purple, and it's my favorite color, that I had to have it. So, all right. So, that takes us through the haul and the Q&A for the week. All right, so this week, I don't know about the rest of you in Magical Stitches, but holy jeez was I unmotivated in the first half this week. Like, I really barely stitched until Thursday night, and then I was back in the groove on it. And I stitched Friday, and it was nice. Didn't get as much done yesterday, but I'll explain that shortly. So, let's see. So, what did I work on this week? Well, for this week's homework assignment, it was an easier week. Let's see. We were to do, in celebration of the 11th Death Eater's Cod, we had to do our 11th whip. Part 2 was to stitch 300 in any color but pink. I misunderstood and actually interpreted that as 300 of just one color. And then part 3, for bonus points, is 400 stitches in honor of the Weasley twins' famous 5th floor practical joke when they left where they created a swamp. So, my 11th whip was Search the Sky. And I actually worked on this one at lunch at work. There we go. So I got the house finished and 2 of the trees done. So there's just 2 more trees, and then I can start on the snowflakes going up the sides, which is going to be exciting. And will be perfect for the next time we have a project that's like, do X amount of stitches in one single color, because I'm going to have a ton of that. So, there we go. This is by Waxing Moon Designs. Alright. Alright, then I did my 400 stitches, because we had to do something sort of swampy. So I actually did 400 stitches on my Universal Monsters. I also finished out, earlier in the week, the Mummy Room. So, here's where I'm at now on it. We've got part of the roof done, which is exciting. We'll start working more on the roof the next time it comes out to play. So, on my Mummy Room, the changes I worked on my swamp for that. So, here is Imhotep. The changes that I made, so I did whipped backstitch on my Black Widow. I made it a Black Widow. A lot of people, I think, did, though. I used Etoile for the sparkly bits, which aren't showing up too well on here. They don't photograph well, and they don't capture on camera well, but they look really great in person. I did a whipped backstitch spider web here, that I don't think you can really tell. I used the Black Whisper for the kitty. I turned the candelabra into a torch with a bracket. First I added a little trailing bit of wrapping coming out of the sarcophagus, because I thought that would be cute. I used a gray-green for his bandages, to make it look a little more moldy and older. And then my biggest change was I added some hieroglyphics that spell out Imhotep, because I forgot that it was just Imhotep. And then by the time I realized that, I thought, no, I'm not going to try and frog that. So I looked up a hieroglyphic alphabet and just sort of freehanded from there. So, yeah. And then, like I said, up here is going to be the creature from the Black Lagoon, which is my favorite I think it's my favorite of all the Universal Monsters. So, yes. Alright, and then for my part 2, which is the 300, I'm working on the new part of Emerald City. So I added the 3 little filigree bits, and started, there's the Witch's Bucket, and then the Wicked Witch goes here. There was a delay from Owl Forest, so the pattern actually didn't go live until about 2 o'clock this morning, US time. And I didn't know what else to work on yesterday, for the most part, because I didn't really feel a whole lot like working on stuff. So, I did pull out, because I had some time, so I finished out part of the floor on Nutcracker, and I did his back stitching. So I at least did that much. But yeah, I didn't know what to. So last night I actually spent doing mostly floss organization. The other thing I did this week to sort of kickstart the stitchy bug, because I wanted to stitch, just nothing was calling to me. I did a small start. And I started on Jenny Bean Halloween from Shakespeare's Peddler. There's the actual picture so you can see it big. There's the full chart. So I got a window and a half done, and then I put it away. So there it is. This is actually on that fabric I bought the last time I was at Stitch Niche. The Desert Sand or Storm or something like that. So there it is. And I'm using a Scooby-Doo Knittelminder for it. So I think this year I'm actually going to try and participate in Darktober stitching, where you work on Halloween stitching the entire month of October, because I think I've got enough things I could count it. So we shall see. Alright, so that's this week's homework. So I'll finish up my 300 stitches on Emerald City and be done with the homework. And then for next week's homework, they're discontinuing the Whip albums. So those are going away, which makes me a little sad. But this is going to be a short week for it. It ends Saturday night. So my goal is to have as much done as I can by Friday. So we had to post 5 different WIT projects in the comments that we would like to work on this next week. They're gonna, at midnight, a tiny decision wheel video will be posted so you know which WIP to work on. And each house will have its own WIP and number. So we had to just pick 5. The assignment that's picked, we have to do 500 stitches for the 5 points. And then for bonus points, if we do 200 stitches in each of the other 4 projects, then we'll get 2 points. So it's a total of 13 that we can earn. So the ones I posted were, and in no particular order, Espresso Patronum, which I kind of hope that's the one that gets, I think it was my number 2. I'm hoping it gets picked, because 500 stitches would get me pretty far on this thing. So that's where I'm at on it. And then Cheshire Moon, which also would be nice, because 500 stitches would get a good chunk of this one done. So there's only 2 pages of it left. We're getting close on it. Jenny Bean, which you just saw, Universal Monsters, which you just saw, and Count Your Blessings by Annie B's Folk Art. So that's where I'm at on that one. Which I think the 500 stitches would pretty much finish out the roof, and then let me start doing working on it in quarters. So, which is kind of how Jenny Bean's going to be. I'll do the house and then I'll work on it in quarters from there. I do that with a lot of projects. I tend to I'll divide them into quarters, finish out the center, and then branch from there, especially if hand dyes are involved. So, anyhow, that's kind of it for me today. So we'll see what we work on next week, and I will either see you on Sunday or possibly Monday next week. Bye!